One of the biggest challenges that we face as women entrepreneurs is getting caught up in this place called the messy middle. Now, the messy middle is filled with our fears around being imperfect. So let me help you out. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We are not perfect. So if I had one message to the woman who has dared to dream, if I had one message to the woman who has an urging to become an entrepreneur, if I had one message to the woman who is saying to herself, it's about time to get out there and to start my own business, I would say, girl, launch like a babe. Now, everybody go ahead and put that in the feed. Launch like a babe. Now, BABE for me is an acronym and it stands for my business focused, action oriented, brazen entrepreneurs. My business focused, action oriented, brazen entrepreneurs. So oftentimes we get hit with these great ideas, right? And that idea comes and we go out and we tell our girlfriends about it. Let's go have a lunch. I have this beautiful idea. And then we turn around and we go and get a coach. And then after the coach, we enroll in the challenge. And then there's a master class. And then we purchase a course. And then we go and get the t-shirt all about it because we are so amped up about this big idea that we have. And at the end of the day, after the money has been spent, after the coach has been talked to, after the challenge has been run, after the course has been looked at, after we have read the 15 books, we still have this passion, we still have this purpose, and we still have this pent up frustration because we have not launched the business. And why is that? It's because we are afraid to launch. So what we're going to do today is talk about how we're going to launch like a babe. See, we're going to begin to move you out of the sea of procrastination, self-doubt, and insecurity, because with all of the talent, all of the treasures, and in many instances, the time that you have, it is really time for you to launch like a babe. The business focus, the action oriented, brazen, being bold enough to go ahead and make sure that you get it done, even when you know that victory may not be guaranteed. Entrepreneur, the person who wants to turn their passion into revenue and make a difference and a dollar all at the same time. And that's who we're going to be talking to today. So let's go ahead and get started. There are 3 phases to launching like a babe. So there is the ugly launch, the pretty launch, and the boss launch. So let's go ahead and break each one of those down. So phase one is really the ugly launch. It is one of the things that I like to say is the equivalent of me going out and walking the dog. See, here's a picture of my baby right here. Isn't he a beauty? I know. I love my dog. He's my fur baby. I know there are some pet lovers that are out there, so you know exactly what I mean. Well, here's the thing. Ordinarily, when I walk out of the house, I like to be well put together. I've got my hair done. I've got my earrings on. I've got my heels on. I'm feeling good, looking fresh, feeling fine. And I am walking out of the door. And see, this is what we really believe that our launch is supposed to be like. We think that our launch is supposed to look like that woman who is actually walking out of the door. Now, fellas, if you actually knew how much work we put into getting dressed in the morning to get out of the door, you would have a greater appreciation for who we are. You know what? As a matter of fact, all of my wives out there, turn to your husbands and let them know, baby, you know what? I need a raise right now. But okay, enough about that. Back to regularly scheduled program. But there are just times where you just have to get stuff done in the morning. And it's the times like this when I've just got to get it done, get out of the house and go walk the dog. So check it out, because this is what I actually look like in the morning? As you can see, no makeup, right? No hair, it's braided, it's pulled back in the scarf, no earrings, no heels. It is the equivalent of the ugly launch. Now, if any of you all call me ugly, don't don't make me jump off the stage right now. No, but that is really the equivalent of the ugly launch. See, it is really that phase in your business where you're just beginning to figure things out. So you're trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. What product am I going to put out there? What service am I going to provide? Are there people that are even looking my way, willing to buy? You are just figuring it out. So when you are in the ugly launch phase, there's one thing that I want you to remember. Get it done. Are we clear? All right. Now, let's move into the second phase. The second phase is called the pretty launch. Now, the pretty launch is where we have now gone, we have determined what works and what doesn't work, and now we are moving into optimization mode. This is really where we begin to optimize all of the things that we have learned. We are optimizing the systems that we have put in place. We are optimizing the tools that we have created. See, it's like the equivalent of when I actually get out of the door and go to work, right? So as you can see, I've got my dress on, right? I've got my hair done. I've got my earrings. I've got my lips popping with color, right? This is really where I have prettied everything up. So we have optimized it. And really the focal point here is now beginning to make things look pretty. It's not perfect, but it is pretty. See, when I go to work, I am optimized for performance. And that is what your pretty launch is. Your pretty launch is optimized for performance. So let's do a recap. We go from our ugly launch where we're just testing out what there is to do inside of the marketplace. We're figuring out what works, what doesn't work. And then we go into the pretty launch. And the pretty launch is where we are really beginning to optimize for performance. And then we move into the third phase. And the third phase of that is actually called the boss launch. Now, the boss launch is really where you are and you know that there is something different going on, right? This is not just I'm getting ready to go to work and I'm optimized for performance. This is like the Oscars or the Grammys. You're getting ready for this big, huge event. Right? See, this is where you begin to pull out the sequins dress. This is where you begin to go ahead and you call in the professional makeup artist and you have your hairstylist there. And you go and instead of just getting the regular mani or pedi, you're there, you have the paraffin wax, you're 90 minutes, they are shellacking it on. You have pulled out the all-out glam squad. Why? Because you can. You know what your products and services are. You have optimized those babies for performance. And now in the boss launch, this is where you really begin to scale. Right? This is the point in time where you begin to bring in partners, bring in affiliates. You begin to 10x that Facebook ad budget and your marketing campaign budget because you know it works. Right? This is where you truly begin to go all out and you are bold, you are beautiful, you are bodacious, but most importantly, you are bankable. How about them apples, right? So we have three phases to your launch. We have the ugly launch, we have the pretty launch, and we have the boss launch. Now, when you put all of those things together, you are in the process of launching like a babe. So how does that relate to what we are doing now, where everyone is in this space of being an online entrepreneur? If you are an entrepreneur, if you are starting a business in today's marketplace, you must have some type of online component. So let's modernize this a little bit. So we have our ugly funnel. We have our, you guessed it, pretty funnel, and then we have our boss funnel. Now, don't go ahead and get your panties all up in the bunch. A funnel is nothing more than an online process that's designed to produce a result that is predictable, repeatable, and profitable. Everybody say that with me. It is PRP, predictable, repeatable, and profitable. So let's walk through that. The first thing is that we are just trying to do something, right? And in that doing something, we produce a result. And then that result becomes something that we can predict, right? So we continually do that consistently, and we can predict the results that we are going to have. That is the first phase of an online funnel, right? It's designed to create a result that is predictable. Now that the result is predictable, we want to put a process in place that allows us to repeat that result over and over and over again, right? Without having to do the work over and over and over again. So we have a process, an online system that's designed to produce a result that's predictable, repeatable, and now that we know that it works, it is profitable, PRP. So ladies, that is what you really need to know in order to get into this process called launching like a babe. You have the ugly launch, the pretty launch, the boss launch, and you have the ugly funnel, the pretty funnel, and yes, you got it, the boss funnel. So with that being said, my name is E.R. Spalding, and I am the founder of Black Woman Startup. And I'm so looking forward to meeting you in my workshop. We're seeing you somewhere in this online universe. I'll talk to you soon. And in the meantime, go out and launch like a babe.